Okay. So let me just check if you guys are there already. Mr. Jairus, you there? Mr.
Yes,
Dumagat?
sir.
Present, sir.
Okay. Mr. Joshua?
Present.
And then Miss Rio.
Present, sir.
All right. It's good. So we've just finished this one, having the live internet statistics. So feel free to visit that one anytime. Okay. Baka may kailangan ko yung data, di ba? So moving on. So the rapid growth of data can be an advantage or an obstacle when it comes to achieving business goals. So of course, rapid growth is a good thing since as we all know, lumalago yung internet natin or yung online businesses. Pero at the same time, it is an obstacle when it comes to achieving business goals. Why? Kasi parami din ng parami yung mga kinds of data natin. Parami ng parami yung mga different types, different kinds. And then palaki din ng palaki. Okay? Yung data na na-accumulate natin. So, hindi ko lang alam kung naabutan nyo to, pero hindi ko na rin siya masyadong naabutan. Pero naabutan ko yung parang diskette pa lang siya. And then yung mga yung dati, 16 MB pa lang yun. Okay? So pag may 16 megabyte ka na parang diskette, kung saan mo pwedeng save yung Microsoft Word, mga kanta, parang mayaman ka na dati. Okay? Nung nagkaroon ka na nga ng kwan dati, parang 120 MB or even 1 gigabyte. Sa gigabyte pa lang manghang-mangha na sila dati. Ang ngayon pa rin naman, malaki pa rin ng gigabyte. Pero imagine dati, yung 4 gig natin ngayon na phase out na, which is 8 gig, yun yung 16 MB nila dati. How much more ngayon pa? Diba? So baka ang standard of flash drive na ngayon is 64 gig or even 128. Okay? So sa mga external nga, minsan wala ng 500 gigabyte, mostly 1 terabyte and above na. Alright, so palaki ng palaki. So with this enormous amount of data being constantly created, so traditional technologies and data warehouses cannot keep up with storage needs. So even with the cloud storage facilities that are available from companies like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, OneDrive, so kahit ilan pa man yan, kulang pa rin yun, okay? And many others, security of stored data becomes a big problem. So gagaya ng sabi ko kanina, even though you have the physical storage in your hand, it is still not safe. So pwede vulnerable ka pa rin sa attack, like of course, yun, kapag wala kang antivirus na legit, okay, hindi lang yung free trial, okay, so wala talagang like 1%, okay, malaki pa nga yung yung cost na yun yung magbigay ng virus sa'yo, wala na kapag free trial. Okay, so mas magandang gamitin mo na ng Windows Defender yung default na Windows security ng Windows mo. Okay, mas safe pa yun para sa akin. And then big data solutions must be secure. Okay, so ito yung pinaka number 1 na pinapangalagaan ng mga company when it comes to online storage like yung mga clouds natin. So we should have a high fault tolerance. Kasi, let's say, secured nga. Pero madali namang, let's say, makorrupt or masira. Okay, so wala din. And use replication to ensure data that does not get lost. So dapat marami siyang replica, like may backup siya dapat lagi. Kung ilan na ba yung data dito, dapat laging binabackup. Just in case one of them, let's say, get destroyed accidentally or nasira, or kung ano man yun nangyari, at least you have a backup. Okay? So big data storage is not only about storing data, it is also about managing and securing it. Okay? So sa big data, parang ang pinaka-major nyo na dito na definition is data siya na na-process na rin, wherein secured din siya and safe siya. Okay? So hindi lang siya basta data. Kasi sa cloud storage, ang pinapangalagaan lang nila doon is yung security and then yung backup. Dapat meron sila ng dalawa. Pero dito, it should be a process or important data. Okay? When we talk about big data. So there are 5 major data storage problems with big data. Okay, first is management. Very common naman na problema to sa mga data. So, yun na nga, ang hirap i-manage. Like, yung pangalang 5 different kinds of file. Tapos pagsasamahin mo, i-compile mo siya sa isa or dalawa or tatlo. Sobrang hirap na nun. How much more kapag thousands of different sources or different types of data yung pinanggagalingan. Okay, so yung iba dyan, pwedeng may virus pa. So, yung iba dyan, hindi pa tama yung pagkaka-structure. So, sobrang hirap. So, madami kang gagawing program para lang ma-perfect mo yung filtering mo when it comes to managing a certain data. So, first and foremost, it should be organized. Okay. Ito naman yung, I think common naman na to, given na to, organize and should be collate all of the sources. So, there are few data sharing standards and thousands of data management tools available. So, yeah, even though maraming mga free or mga application for managing data, mahirap pa rin. Okay? Kasi maya may bago. And then second is security. So given naman na rin na to, ay sa cloud pa lang. Okay, so security, ito na yung dapat pinakapangangalagaan talaga. Diba? Lalo na yung mga malalaking company like Google. So dapat secure yung data nila. Kasi kung hindi, then madali lang silang pasukin ng mga nangwawasak. Okay? So ito yung mga tinatawag natin black hat hacker. Okay, kasi may mga naman tayo, may mga white hat hacker tayo or yung mga, ano ba tawag dito na naman? Ethical hacking. Yung tinatawag tayong ethical hacking. Yung iba naman dyan, puro pangwasak lang. So, ayan, yung dapat nila pangalagaan. Kasi kahit isang tao lang yan, tapos napasok niyo yun. So, sobrang dali lang i-corrupt ng isang or ng mga files niya. So, it should be kept secure and only accessible by authorized users. And then redundancy. So, ito yung pangatlo. So, dapat secured muna. And then pangatlo, dapat meron kang backup. Okay. So, syempre, kailangan mong pangalagaan yung integrity mo as an iCloud. So, hindi ka naman basta-basta magsusubscribe sa isang cloud storage kung sa tingin mo, laging nasisiraan yun, laging nakukorrupt yung data. So, dapat meron silang backup. Okay, backup or dapat meron silang solution for disaster recovery. Sakali mang magkaroon ng disaster. Hindi natin alam. And then, analytics. Okay, so ito na yung part na kasama sa big data na wala doon sa cloud storage. Kasi ito lang yung parang pinakatatlong major na pinapangalagaan. So, dapat sorted siya. You can manage it easily. You can secure it and then meron kang backup. Pero analytics, doon napapasok yung cloud computing natin when it comes to cloud storage. Parang pag pinagsama mo yun, boom, big data na yun. Okay? Parang ganun. So, when it comes to analytics, so nadi-divide siya sa dalawa. We have structured and then unstructured. So, pag sinabi natin structured, ito yung may mga dito, fixed format. Okay? So, lahat ng format nito, same lang sila, ganun lahat. Okay? Like emails, photos, audios, etc. na naka-fix yung file type. Meron naman tayong unstructured wherein the opposite of being fixed is like, kasi parang kapag sabi na unstructured, may freedom kayo kahit anong file type of data. So, pwedeng random. Okay? So, mali. Baliktad pala. Unstructured pala yung emails and photos. Okay? And then, structured, ito na yung may format, okay? Which is spreadsheet or Excel. Okay? So, unstructured, ito na yung mga emails, photos, or videos. Okay? Kasi ito, wala siyang certain format wherein kapag video, video siya, pero yung laman niya, hindi natin alam kung paano pa siya i-process or kung paano ba siya i-analyze. Okay? And kapag photo naman siya, so yeah, photo siya, file type of photo, pero hindi natin alam kung ano bang gagawin natin sa photo na yun. Okay, so pwedeng photos for food, photos for, so marami kang kailangang i-filter. Alright? And so on and so forth. So yun yung pinakaiba nila. So basically, pag structured, meron siyang fixed format like spreadsheet or yung tatawag na Microsoft Excel. And then unstructured is like mostly ito yung mga photos, videos, and then audios. Even text messages or news. Okay? So these storage systems must be able to manage both types. Okay, so dapat yung dalawang yan, hindi lang structured. Dapat dalawang yan na ma-manage ng big data, analytics, and then access. So this is already given. Isa lang naman yung kailangan natin ito, which is the internet. Pero meron kasing mga connection or merong mga server, for sure na encounter nyo na to many times. may mga server na sobrang bagal. Okay? Like even though you have 1 gigabit of connection of the internet, o yan, just make it 1 terabyte. Okay? So sobrang bilis ng internet connection mo. Pero yung sa server, yung upload niya or yung download or upload speed niya is sobrang bagal. So, factor din yun. Okay? So, dapat mabilis yung internet connection ng mismong server ng big data. Okay? So, it should be accessible from anywhere at any time. Okay? So, moving on. So, where can we store big data? So, papahapyawan ko na lang to kasi na-explain ko na itong pag-computing dati dun sa last module natin. So, big data is typically stored on multiple servers. Okay, so hindi lang siya sa isang server kasi nga sobrang laki ng data na yun. Okay, hindi kakayanin niya ng isa lang or dalawa o tatlo. So, parang nag-isip sila ng way, kung paano ba nila i-distribute. Okay, yun yung pinaka-term natin, i-distribute yung mga data sa mga free spaces natin. Okay, so usually, housed within data centers for security, accessibility, and redundancy. So isa sa mga way na naisip nila is yun ang fog computing. So again, what is fog computing? So this is the server that is parang connected sa isang company or sa isang apartment or sa isang station. Okay? So meron kang sariling physical server. Hindi ka muna mismo didirekta doon sa cloud computing. So doon ka muna sa server na connected sa LAN mo. Okay? And then bakit ganon yung naisip nilang paraan? Kasi maliban sa secured na nga siya kasi you have it on your own. So kung sakali hindi secured, ibig sabihin pangit yung pagka-configure or pangit mismo yung nabili mong server. So accessibility, so no problem. Nandiyan lang naman katabi mo lang So connected sa LAN. Okay, pangalagaan mo lang. And then redundancy, so nasa sa'yo na rin yun kung paano ka magbabackup. Okay? So in this way, you can have your own big data. Let's say kung isang company ka, you can have your own big data instead of putting it on one cloud storage. So yes, nakatipid ka kapag nag-cloud storage ka, pero maraming risk. Unlike if you have it on your own, mas secured, mas mabilis, mas maganda yung backup. Kasi nandiyan lang naman pwede mo i-backup multiple times kung ilan yung gusto mo. And then again, kapag gusto mo pa siyang i-process furthermore, like for example, bilang naman iisa yung company mo, kung sakali mayaman ka, maraming company, yung company na to sa isang bansa, let's say, meron siyang 5 extension, 5 branches, yan, tama. Meron siyang 5 branches. So let's say, gusto mo na siyang ipa-analyze or isend mismo sa ibang branch mo. So dito na papasok yung with the connection of internet and then going to cloud. Okay, so of course, bago mo naman siya isend or bago mo siya i-upload dun sa cloud, process na siya. Okay, na-process na mismo ng IT mo yun. Okay, na-process mo na yung mga data na dapat mong kunin. So just wait a second. Alright, so sorry for that one. Medyo maingay yung aso. So, yun. Yun lang naman when it comes to fog computing. So, na-cover ko na yung explanation. So, I'll leave the reading part to you guys. So, tinagalog ko lang actually. So, after the data has been pre-processed, ito na yung important or na-filter na siya. It is often shift off for longer term storage like backup or deeper analysis within the cloud. Alright? So, kapag medyo naguluhan kayo sa isang, may mga subtopics kasi ito So, you can always read everything. So, kinumpleto ko to, hindi ko na tinanggal yung mga iba explanation para kapag wala ka dito sa meeting, kahit na hindi mo napakinggan kung ano explanation ko, at least meron itong mga definition dito wherein you can still understand it. Okay? So, moving on, we have the cloud and cloud computing. Ito, papahapyawan ko na lang din ulit. So, cloud is just where you store, okay, where you fetch, and then where you, actually, dalawang yun lang So, store and then retrieve your data. So, as mentioned before, the cloud is a collection of data centers or groups of connected servers. Access to software storage and services available on the servers is obtained through the internet. So of course, alam na nyo na to, kailangan nyo ng internet para makakonect ka sa cloud storage mo. Okay? So cloud services are provided by many large companies such as, so alam nyo na rin to, marami tayong iba't ibang klase ng cloud storage. We have Google, like Google Drive, Microsoft is OneDrive, and then Apple is iCloud. Okay? So yeah. And then from an individual's perspective, so take note, this one is an individual perspective. So isang tao lang to or mga personal na tao na gumagamit ng cloud storage. So ito yung experience nila. So sabi nila, of course, yung mga basic, you can store your data, you can access it, and then ayan, parehas pala access. So nagkamali ako ng highlight. This one, you can access many applications, and then you can also access your data, okay, anywhere and anytime on any device. Okay? And then sabi nila, okay, sa mga gumagamit ng cloud storage, so one of the disadvantages of using the cloud is that your data could fall into the wrong hands. Which is, in the first place, kapag nag-store ka doon, nasa maling kamay na. Maliban na lang kapag tiwalang-tiwala ka doon. So hindi natin alam, di ba, kung tinitignan ba nila yung data mo or binebenta na ba nila yung data mo, etc. etc. Pero, one thing is for sure, ganito lang yan. Okay, bibigyan ko kayo ng maliit na senaryo. Kapag isang tao ka lang naman na hindi ka naman ganun kasikat, okay, I would say that your data is 100% secured. Bakit? Kasi in the first place, they don't know what they will search. Okay? Kasi sobrang lahat, hindi naman nila binubuksan lahat ng mga data ng each person na nakasubscribe sa cloud. So, kung isang tao ka lang, hindi ka nung kasikat, and then nandiyan ka lang, hindi nila binubuksan yung file mo doon sa cloud. So, safe yan. Kasi wala namang magkaka-interest, hindi ka namang ganun kasikat. But, if you are like, maybe kilala ka na when it comes to creating such games, or like this and that, like creator ka ng isang game na sikat, like, let's say maybe Mobile Legends. So, pwede, okay, may possibility na ibenta nila yung data mo. Kaya nga, kung hindi kayo, parang kung naiisip nyo na ito pero ito kasi parang nangyari. Kaya parang ang daming pare-parehas or medyo same yung way of creating a game, way of implementing a game. Naiiba lang ng konti, na-edit lang, okay? Pero pare-parehas sila. Okay, like literally 90% same gameplay. Iniba lang yung itsura, iniba lang yung ibang features, iniba lang ibang interfaces, pero the same. So, 90% din, okay? So, may 10% pa rin natitira. 90% nabenta na yung data mo, okay? Without you knowing na nabenta na pala nila. Okay? So, binayaran lang nila yung nagmamanage mismo ng nasa cloud niyo. Okay? So, maraming gano'n. Okay? So, I hope medyo na-enlighten kayo sa ganung scenario na di natin alam, di ba? Kung safe ba talaga yan or hindi. So, your data is at the mercy of the security robustness of your chosen cloud server. So, parang, so sugal na lang talaga, di ba? So, 50-50. Kung maawa sila, di maawa sila. Kung hindi, di hindi. Ayan talaga. Okay? So, just a continuation. So, ito naman is the perspective of an enterprise. So, ito kasi kapag pasok ng enterprise, lagi silang positive. When it comes to business, so business is business. So, kapag personal kasi, of course, ito yung mga individual na experiences mo. Pero dito kasi, isang company na to. So, mostly naman, bago nila ipasa to sa cloud, meron na silang sariling server din. So, mostly, ang ginagawa nila is backup lang nila yung cloud storage. Just in case, pupunta sila sa ibang lugar. Pero nakastore na yun sa sarili nila physical server. So, okay lang sa kanila. So, it enables access to organizational data anywhere, anytime. It streamlines the IT operations of an organization by subscribing only to needed services. It eliminates or reduces the need for on-site IT equipment, maintenance, and management. So, ito yung pinaka-main kung bakit ginagawa nila to sa mga enterprise. So, instead na mag-hire sila ng expert na IT, and meron naman na tayong cloud computing kasi. So, yun na mismo, yung cloud computing yung bahala, mag-maintain, mag-manage, etc. etc. And then it reduces the cost. So ito rin yung pinakamaganda kasi nakaka-save ka nga instead of na buying 100,000 or even 1 million server. Mag-avail ka lang. Okay, like 10,000 per year, 20,000 pesos per year. So yun, yearly ka nga lang magbayad. Syempre, in the long run, talo ka din. Pero ganoon din naman yun eh. Masisira din naman yung server mo. So hindi naman siya forever. So yeah, nasa sa'yo na yun. And then it enables rapid responses to increasing data volume requirements. So as you can see right here, everything is like positive side when it comes to enterprise. Kasi sila yung, makakatipid ka, hindi mo na kailangan magbayad ng ganito, ganyan. So parang favorable to when it comes to businesses. Alright? So moving on, we have here distributed processing. So ito na yung isa sa mga way wherein pagpasok kasi ng big data, gagamit ka na ng fog computing. So yung fog computing na yun is mapapasa sa mga maraming computer. Connected siya sa isang server connected sa maraming computer. Or pwedeng itong server nito is connected to the internet and then connected sa ulit sa maraming computer. Okay? So ito, gumawa sila ng way para mas mapabilis yung process. Instead of one server, okay, processing that large amount of data. So gumamit lang tayo ng distributed na application wherein ipaprocess siya ng multiple computers for faster process. So i-skip ko na tong part na to. Distributed data processing takes the large volume of data and breaks it into smaller pieces. Wherein yun na nga sabi ko, isasend niya lang to or i-distribute niya lang to dun sa mga mas maliliit na computer natin. Okay? So these smaller data volumes are distributed in many locations to be processed by many computers with smaller processors. So each computer in distributed architecture analyzes its part of big data picture, which is, we call that one horizontal scaling. So kapag iisa lang, isang server, we call that one vertical scaling. Kapag napasa niya na, we now call that one horizontal scaling. So most distributed file systems are designed to be invisible. So ito kasi kagandahan when it comes to distributing a data or distributing file system or yung itong application na itong distributing a certain data. They made it invisible, not really invisible. Sorry. So not really invisible pero hindi mo mararamdaman, okay? So let's say itong laptop ko connected dun sa server ng let's say company namin. So pwede niya akong pasukin anytime kasi nga connected naman ako sa server, connected din ako sa server so pwede rin akong pumasok doon. And ginagamit niya, okay, yung spaces ng computer ko. Minsan, okay, hindi naman palagi. So let's say may pumasok na data and then it needs to be processed like for a long run. So siya, ang ginagawa niya para mas mapabilis, dinidistribute niya na yun sa mga connected computers. Okay. Just like what you're seeing in this picture right now. So that way, horizontal scaling na tayo and then mas mabilis na yung process. Kasi ginagamit niya na yung processor ko. Right? And then, ito na yun, yung isa sa mga nagawa nila when it comes to dealing with big data volumes. So we call that one Hadoop. Okay? Hadoop is parang standard na when it comes to dealing with big data. So ito yung ginagamit ng karamihan. Actually, lahat. Bakit? Kasi meron tayong two facets wherein, sabi dito, okay, hindi ko pa naman na-experience, it's fault-tolerant file system and then it's map-reduce. So, bago pala tayo mag-proceed sa definition, here's the acronym of Hadoop. So, Hadoop is Distributed File System or HDFS. So, ito yung ibang name niya when it comes to ano tawag dito? Ito yung acronym, okay? Or yung other term when it comes to Hadoop. So, HDFS, yung tawag natin dyan. Okay? So, Hadoop is open source software. So, libre lang naman siya. Enabling the distributed processing of large datasets can be terabytes, insights, and that are stored in clusters computers. So, Hadoop is designed to scale up from single servers to thousands of machines. So, same idea siya ng distributed data processing. Actually, ganun na ganun yung idea niya kung bakit create itong Hadoop. So, siya mismo ngayon yung magmamanage ng mga data mo or ng mga ipaprocess mong data. So, from single server into thousands of machines. So, hindi lang basta thousands of machines. Pwedeng yung machine na yon or yung single machine na yon, pwede mong gamitan pa ng virtual machines or yung VMs natin. So, na-discuss na natin to sa last module natin. So, alam niyo na siguro yung virtual machine wherein you have a computer inside of your computer. So, pwedeng maraming computer inside of one computer. Okay? So, Hadoop has two main features wherein yun na nga, fault-tolerant file system siya wherein it automatically replicates data. And then, MapReduce wherein scalability niya is mas mabilis. Okay? Yung processing is mas mabilis kasi nga pinapasa-pasa niya na sa mga karatig niyang computer. Okay? Alright, so why do businesses analyze data? Kasi, to make it short, yung na-analyze ng data, so parang ito na kasi yung survey or yung feedback na nakukuha nila. So from that survey or feedback, gagawa sila ng analyzation, paprocess nila yon, and then gagawa nila ng solution or ng mga recommendation kung ano man yung mga process ng data. So hindi yun magiging useful na data hanggat hindi mo siya napaprocess. Kagaya nga ng sabi dito, to businesses, data is the new oil. Like crude oil, it is valuable, but it is unrefined, so it cannot be easily used. And then crude oil has to be changed to gasoline, plastic, chemicals, and other substances to create a valuable product. So it is the same with data. Data must be broken down and analyzed for it to have a value. Okay? So value comes from two primary types of process data. So meron tayong transactional and then analytical. So the first one is you're going to do the transactional wherein you're going to capture and process as event happen. So ito yung parang live na ginagawa mo habang nakakapag-fetch ka ng isang data. And then afterwards, anong gagawin mo? Okay? Anong gagawin mo dun sa na-capture yung data? Of course, dito napapasok yung analysis natin para malaman natin kung useful ba siya or hindi. Kukunin mo, ikikip mo ba siya as your data or hindi. Etc. etc. And then sources of information. So to make it short, everything. Okay. Pero ito lang yung mga parang mga basic when it comes to getting a certain information. So mostly naman dyan is coming from sensor data. Okay, like camera, audio, and so on and so forth. Scan, enter, release, blah, blah, blah. So napakarami. Okay? And then, collected data can be categorized as structured. So kagaya na sabi ko, we have structured and then unstructured. So structured is a fixed format. So meron tayong spreadsheet and so on and so forth. Okay? And then yung spreadsheet kasi na yun, pwede mo pa siya i-convert into more standard fixed format. So ang tawag na natin doon is comma separated values or CSV. So instead na naka-table siya instead na may table, gagamit ka na lang ng plain text. Okay, wherein plain text file that use commas to separate columns in a table of data. So instead of table, gagamit ka na lang ng comma para ma-separate mo yung dalawang column. Okay? And the next one, unstructured, is a free form. Okay, so this is the opposite of fixed. Free form style. Mostly, okay, ito yung mga audio, video, photos, web pages, and then tweets natin. Kasi random yung mga yan. So yeah, we have a common format. Pero ano ba yung nasa loob nila? How do you process those kind of formats? Unlike kapag naka-text siya, so pwede ka na mag-type ng mga filters na pwede mong gawin. Okay, kukunin mo lang yung date, kukunin mo lang yung year month na October, and then year 2020, so on and so forth. So you're being specific when it comes to structured data. Unlike unstructured data, so hindi natin alam kung paano mo ba siya ipaprocess. And then, web pages are created to provide data to humans, not machines. So meron tayong web scraping that can extract data from HTML pages. So ito yung isa sa mga tool na ginagamit nila. Okay, we call that one web scraping para makakuha. Okay, actually ito na yung way of doing data mining. Okay, kung narinig nyo man yun, data mining wherein you get a raw data from a certain website And then from that raw data, it will now be processed into a useful data. Okay, so gumagamit sila ng bot or web crawler. Okay, so yun yung mga basic applications para makakuha ng mga useful information. So, iba dyan, ginagamit nila to, okay, para makakuha ng marami kasing use to it. You know, like to get a personal information. So, ano ba yung mga personal information na makukuha mo sa taong to? Okay? I-filter mo lang yun and then kukunin niya na yung information na makukuha niya regarding with this person and such. So, mostly ginagamit to for hacking. Okay? But not all. Okay? Mukha mo lang naman siya para sa mga useful information. Ganun na nga lang. And then many large web service providers such as Facebook provide standardized interfaces to collect data automatically using application programming interfaces. So, pinaka-common na ginagamit ng Facebook is RESTful APIs. So, it is an HTTP as a communication protocol and JSON structure to encode the data. So, yun na nga, sa Facebook, fix naman na kasi yun kapag mag-chat ka. So, ito dapat ang pipiliin mo. Pero, of course, kino-convert pa rin nila into more structured data. So, yeah. And then moving on, we have data visualization. So marami naman tayong ways kung paano siya ipakita. So as you can see right here, we have here a line graph, a pie chart, tawag dito, column chart, and then scatter chart, and then a bar graph. Okay. So data mining is the process of turning raw data into meaningful information by discovering patterns and relationship in large data sets. So, to be precise, yung mga nakuha mong data, hindi mo naman yung babasahin isa-isa di ba? Kasi sobrang dami nun. So, after mo siyang ma-mine, after mong mamina or makuha yung mga data na yun, gagamit ka ngayon ng chart. Okay, kino-convert mo yung data na yun into chart para mas unang, 2 seconds pa lang, 3 seconds pa lang, yun na yung makita mo or nakuha mong data. So, ganun kabilis. Pero, of course, dahil sobrang dami naman ng data, so minsan sobrang laki niyan. Okay? So, kung gusto mo ng specific data, so you should narrow down, you should narrow down the area na sinasakop ng namimina mo. Okay? So, you must be specific. Pero kapag ginawa yun, syempre, mas marami ka na i-configure para mas ma-filter out mo yung mga information na gusto mong kunin. Okay? So, yan. Isa lang naman to when it comes to showing raw data using data mining. Okay? And then after that, you're going to have a short quiz. So, short topic assessment. So, sobrang dali lang naman na ito. Galing din siya dito sa module na to. So, just check your Canvas later on. And then, summary. So, big data usually has 3 characteristics. So, nasabi ko na ngayon, ito yung volume natin, yung velocity, and then yung variety. Okay? And then, pag computing, ito na yung gagamit tayo ng one server into one certain company or yun. And then, connected na siya sa internet for deeper analysis of data. Okay? Or mostly, magamit tayo ng pag computing kasi meron na tayong pre-processed data doon sa lugar na yun or sa bagay niyo. And then cloud is just a collection of data centers wherein it can be connected to multiple servers. Wherein, of course, in cloud, you can store, fetch, you can process if you're going to use cloud computing. And then distributed data processing takes large volume of data from a source and breaks it into smaller pieces. So yun na nga, from the word distributed, from large into smaller. And then ipaprocess nila and then kukollect mo lahat ulit. And then useful information na makukuha mo. Okay? And then businesses gain value by collecting and analyzing massive amounts of new product usage of data. So given na to, kahit tayo naman, kahit hindi tayo mga businessman, ito yung ginagawa natin. Collect tayo ng mga data, mga raw data, para makuha natin kung ano ba yung solution natin dito, yung recommendation, and such, and so on and so forth. And then collected data can be categorized into 2. So again, meron tayong structured and then unstructured. So yung structured natin, meron tayong fixed format like spreadsheet, kagaya ng sabi ko kanina. And then unstructured is yung pre-form natin. Okay? And then meron kayong mga ibang application para pa mas maging structured pa siya. Para ma-convert nyo siya into structured data. Okay, and then data mining is mining from the word itself, getting a raw data and then converting or processing it into meaningful information. Okay, so here's my reference, which also came from I2 IoT20, and then yeah, that's it. So good thing konti lang yung module 3 natin, so we will finish the module 4 and 5. Let's see kung mag-meet tayo for the entire 4 hours next meeting. Okay, kasi dalawa yung meeting natin this coming meeting. So any questions so far?
None, sir.
Sorry kung medyo mabilis. So I hope nakahabol naman kayo kasi wala nating oras. Okay, sobrang konti na lang. I think 20 seconds na lang. So if you have... Okay lang ba? So if you have a question, so feel free to message me in my group message. Feel free to message me in my messenger. Alright, so yun lang muna. Goodbye and then see you next meeting.